All right, it is Sunday, December 22nd. I wanted to start today tearing down the motor to get to the cylinder head on the 4.9 liter. Kind of want to jump straight into that. I didn't waste, but we had to clean up the shop here yesterday so I could have some working room. So we're going to get out there, probably pressure test the cooling system. My dad bought me this test kit. I want to try this out. And then afterwards start marking vacuum hoses and unbolting stuff. So I'm going to bring you along for the ride. Let's see how this goes. By the way, hopefully we will have some help because this is going to be a learning curve. It's really windy outside right now too, so hopefully this mic adapter thing I got will try to cut that down. So no promises, but won't be much talking, maybe some cussing as I bust my knuckles here and there. Let's check this out. So did not realize that I had stopped recording, but we got the pressure test hooked up. Pumped it up to 16 psi per the radiator cap. It says to let it run about 2 minutes, which I did. It is losing, rough estimate, I would say, it lost 2 pounds, 2 psi in that time frame. So yeah, it's not holding, which just confirms what we pretty much already knew anyway. So real quick, what I'm gonna do now is get this depressurized and start kind of labeling things, and then pretty much start disconnecting. So all I'm going to do is basically take on the vacuum tree, kind of make sure I mark which lines go where. I'm pretty much going to refer to the book. We'll see. I'm going to stop the video and just bring you along and try to update you as I go, because it would be a long process to film everything I'm about to do. So I can't really find any 4.9 liter blown head gasket videos. I mean, they are getting pretty old, 25 years plus now. So I'm kind of winging it here and hope the manual leads me in the right path. So I'm gonna stop you here and I'll bring you back once I figure out what the next step is. All right, let's start by disconnecting the battery. These cheap ends. Look at that. You knew that was gonna bite you in the butt. When I connected this damn ground, I almost want to just cut this. I think I'm going to. Alright, we got the battery out. Let's get the throttle off. This should just pop off. We'll go ahead and remove air lines here. So I have a little bit of room to work with. Pry the cable off. Okay. That's the throttle cable. Basically, it just goes on this little ball, and you connect it and pop right off. Time to refer to Chilton. Is that what it's saying? Do I have that? I don't see that. Okay. Mark and detach vacuum hoses from the vacuum tree. We're onto the vacuum tree. We've marked them. Let's start disconnecting them, huh? Oh, these are old. 2, ouch, 3, 4, 5, and then okay, so that is the vacuum tree disconnected. This goes to your AC. Oh, I hope I can remember this. Underneath, okay. PCV. Why are we taking the PCV out already? Positive crankcase ventilation. Where are you? Okay, this is remove it. It's hard to tell where this hose even goes. All we can do right there is just disconnect it. Remove these if equipped. Unscrew the tube nut and detach the tube from the EGR valve. Okay. Okay. off of the aluminum here if I could crack that. Just shock it or something. Man, I got no room. Damn. Doing anything? Now I can't even get the wrench out. Damn. Not a good start. I'm about over this EGR tube. Like bad. Okay, I'm gonna have to switch between the two different GoPros, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to match up this footage or not. This one doesn't have a mic. Point being, I spent 45 minutes and drained my battery trying to break the stupid tube nut off of the EGR. So after putting some heat on it and worked it, it finally broke loose. So where I'm sitting at now, vacuum line's disconnected, throttle, and I just got this off, which I don't know if you can see that on this camera. So next step, there's supposed to be some bracket on the back end of this that you're supposed to undo. I can't find it. So now it's time to undo the upper intake manifold bolts. This is going to be a journey. All right, so I'm running out of daylight already because I started late. The appearance of Jax has happened here. You got it? Okay. The next step is getting these bolts off here so I can get this upper intake off. I believe there's 5. I don't know. We're gonna find out. I'm not a mechanic. This is for fun, and I'm already regretting it. So let's get going. I have no good way of getting an angle here. This manifold is put in by 13mm bolts. I've already cracked a couple of them loose. Let's move down the line. Man, you just don't know how much more work it takes to put a YouTube video on for nobody to watch. I need to get in there on the deep socket. Crack it loose. That's 2. Walking down the line. This actually has an electrical connector, there's a little ground on it. So I need to not lose that. Try and break this one loose, one-handed, got it, okay. We're right by the transmission dipstick. 4th one. Let's get the shallow one there. Okay. I'm trying to do this one-handed so I don't block the camera, but too bad, I'm gonna have to block it. Okay. That's 4. These are all pretty much hand loose. We got one more right there. That's the 5th one. Curious, is there any more back here? Yep, there's one more on the way, so there's 6 total. So let's get to this one. Yep, that's the one I need to get right there. All right, we're going to another view because I can't have the camera there. 2 more to break loose. See if I can get in here. Got it. Now, you're supposed to be able to take off the front tire and get to these a lot easier, I'm assuming. I'm in a muddy yard, so I have no way of doing that, of course. Oh, Jesus. This one. Wow. This ought to be a pain in the butt. I wonder if I can get to it from underneath. So instead of reaching all the way up and around, the last bolt I need to get is right there. So we're going with a setup of extensions, and we're getting in there. And again, I'm sorry if you can't see, but there we go. While we're back here, we're gonna take this one all the way off. Hope this is showing up. Great. Shit. Going back underneath. Gotta get this off. Couldn't bring you along for that one. That's the last one. So now I can undo all the front ones. Two. These are in good shape. I don't know if they're new or not, but they sure don't show their age, so that tells me, although I can see that this valve cover's been changed, so maybe they replaced them. Okay, you get the idea. I'm gonna go ahead and finish these up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Shit, there's 7 total. Damn. You get the idea. I'm just gonna get the rest of these out. So as I'm going through this real quick, there's actually a bracket attached here. They're kind of in the way. To get them out of the way, I'm gonna have to disconnect. I think I'm just gonna take, when I take this tube off, I can lower this tube here. I thought that pre-92 didn't have this. That's my next step though. I'm gonna have to take this off. I'm trying to conserve battery here. I'll bring you back when I'm done doing that. We removed the 7 bolts on the intake. I disconnected this hose to drop that bracket to get the last ones here. Now we're actually separated. I need to get the throttle body and everything off. So that's the next step. We're getting in deep, boys. I've never done any of this before in my entire life, and it's gonna show. Let me do some reading to make sure I'm doing everything right. I'll bring you back whenever I get to the point of disconnecting some stuff. All right. Take this off. We're just taking off the throttle body. Throttle body off. You know, it doesn't tell you, but right here you're gonna need to take this bracket off. Where we connected to so. Oh. I got it out. There's oil everywhere. Let's see if I can not break my neck. Okay, upper intake off. All right, let's take a break for a second. So that quick break is gonna turn into a cut for this video. After looking at some of the footage, I realized pretty quickly that this has to be a multi-part video. It would be way too long to try and condense this all into something that was viewable for under 45 to 30 minutes. Nobody watches those videos, not on somebody like me. I'm going to break this up. This will be part 1, the upper intake manifold. It's coming along all right. We did have some hiccups. I'm not a mechanic. I'm trying to do my best, so if I did something wrong, y'all see it, be kind. But that's to the however many people that actually watch these videos anyway. But today pretty much was a success. We did get the upper intake off. It sits there on the rolling workbench. Throttle body sitting over here. That was kind of a pain. I didn't really understand the instructions on taking that off. It kind of mixed and matched the 302, the 5.8, the 5.8 Lightning, and it said that the 4.9 would have this and that, and it wasn't there, so we'll see. We got her off, disconnected all the hoses, we marked everything. We're in a good starting point. Overall, I probably spent, aside from the 45 minutes that it took to get the EGR tube off of right here, this right here was terrible. But it's just so old and so rusted, it just kicked my butt. That's pretty much going to bring it to a close for day 1, part 1 of this project. Looks like part 2 will be a fuel rail, then we're going to do the lower exhaust manifold, and then we're going to be the valve cover to the head. So this EGR tube right here, it was just so corroded, the nut was just seized on, so I ended up hitting it with the butane torch, loosened it up, and some knocker loose. It finally got it out of there. We're at a good stopping point. So I would have preferred to have tried to get more into one video, but there's just a lot to this. You're basically having to move it's not so much breaking and removing the part, it's getting everything out of the way. But I will take a 1992 4.9 straight 6 over my 2013 F250. I wouldn't even know. I barely can open the hood and look in there without getting an anxiety attack. There's so much stuff crammed in there. I got tons of room to work in this one. I was actually sitting in the engine bay, and I'm 6 foot tall, 220 pounds, so wasn't too bad. We'll move on to part 2, the fuel rail next time. If you ended up watching this all the way to the end, I greatly appreciate it. If it's something that you would like to see this project all the way through, hit that subscribe button, because this is going to have to be finished. Every time's a little bit different. I think I found a way that I enjoy shooting, so hopefully y'all do too. Like I said earlier, if you did watch this to the end, I do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. As always, I will catch y'all next time. Goodbye.